Hello lovelies and welcome to the channel. So I have an art journal video for you today. I was hoping to film a new video tonight, but I've sort of broken my setup, so I need to figure something out. So I may need to go shopping for a new little clippy thing to hold my phone, and yeah, anyway. So I was in the mood to create and now I can't. So I thought I would voice over this video because it has to go up today anyway. So I'm making an art journal page, and surprisingly this was actually inspired by an ad I saw on Foxtel. Now, I think it was a sports ad. We have the sports channels. My husband's obsessed with them. Every time I turn the damn TV on, it's on a sports channel. But there's this ad and it's like a cricket silhouette and it's got this galaxy inside it, and I don't even know if that is the real ad, but that's what it came across to me, and that gave me the idea for this layout or for this page. So I love galaxies, I love stars, I love all of that stuff, and I thought I'd give a galaxy page a go with some dylusions. I didn't want to spray because I didn't have enough control, so I thought I would put them in some little palettes and use a big mop brush to apply my colour. So that's what I've done. I started with pink, purple, blue and black. Not the right colours, I know, but from the top of my head I think it's bubblegum pink. I want to say lilac, but I don't think that's right. And I did this a while ago, so I can't remember the exact colours. I wanted After Midnight, but I don't have that in a spray, so I'm fairly certain that is London Blue, and then my black. Now, around my edge, because I've used a lot of water, obviously the black isn't really black. Black is made up of all dark tones, isn't it? So it gives this really nice, it sort of breaks down the black into its base colours, so you can see a bit of dark blue, a bit of purple in there. It was really, really quite cool. For a second I had to check that I hadn't used the purple. So it doesn't look like much of a galaxy at the moment, I know this, but I also know that I was going to cover up a lot of this to have my silhouette. So I wasn't too worried about how tragically not like a galaxy it looks. I see these beautiful videos on Instagram all the time, and people can just whip these galaxies up with no thought to it at all. Me, not so much. But I still enjoyed I really enjoyed doing this. So I threw some water down and let it sit for a bit and then mopped it up just to give it that distressed look a bit. Then I've gone back with some white ink over the top of my page. Now, because it's a water reactive ink, a lot of the time when you put anything white back on top, it's going to seep and take on the colour behind it. So I tend to use ink more because that seems to be the one that I get the most crisp white out of. This page is a complete fail, but it's a background in my journal that I'm sure I can do something with. I'm just basically using up the rest of my paint, my ink, sorry. And yeah, it turned out nothing like the other side, obviously. But like I said, I will figure something out with it. It'll probably get covered up, honestly. Bits of it anyway. But, you know, nothing goes to waste around here. So I threw on what was left just so nothing goes to waste. So I apologize for the image in this next part. So what happened is I was starting to put in my stars on my right hand side, and my sister called, and I obviously answered the phone, and I think something happened to my camera. I must have touched it, so it's a little bit foggy on one side, but for the most part you can still see what I'm doing. So I got a white uniball pen. No, I didn't, sorry, it's a white jelly roll pen, and I've just coloured a few little white dots around, and then I've gone and drawn in just some basic two-stroke stars just to give it a bit more depth, so you can see, you know, some of those white splatters aren't just splatters, they're actually stars. So I did that while I was on the phone to my sister because I can't do nothing while I'm on the phone. And then obviously because it was white and they are reactive inks, the colour sort of seeped back through, so I just went over them again with my pen, and that seems to have really worked. So when I've gone over it the second time once they were dry, it seems to have really held the colour quite, the white really well. So little tip there, maybe wait for it to dry and go over it again, and yeah, seemed to work really well for me. So this is where I'm going to get rid of most of that background. So knowing that I was going to focus on a small area, most of my stars are inside the silhouette, and also before I put the silhouette down, I tried to make sure I had bits of all of that colour gradient inside that silhouette, as you can see. So then what I've done is I just got some black gesso, painted over it, and then I'm going to fill in the rest of that background. So this is going to be completely black, apart from the galaxy inside my silhouette. And I have to admit, I actually really like how it turned out. So I'm using a flat 1-inch brush, and I'm just going all the way around the rest of my page with black gesso. Literally, that's all I'm doing, no rhyme or reason, just making sure to keep my silhouette clear, and yeah, filling in the rest. I know it seems like a waste of all that background, but I really wanted to try this and see how it turned out, and I have to admit, I really love it. So even though I am covering up the majority of this this background, this galaxy, I still really like the effect. You can clearly see inside the silhouette those blending colors, and honestly, I think the galaxy looks better inside the silhouette than it did on the full page anyway. So just adding a few more stars. Now that I've got my silhouette, I can see, you know, just add a few more stars. Obviously, I covered up a lot, so now I'm just adding a few more in. And then I'm going to draw it really well, and I thought about leaving it blank. No, adding a quote, but leaving my silhouette as it is, but I didn't want to. So I go back and get my white Jelly Roll pen, and one of my favourite things to do when I use a silhouette is to scribble right around the silhouette. I don't aim for neat, I don't even aim for coherent words, I just love the way it looks, and the messier the better. I'm really working on my messy handwriting, my messy unreadable writing, and I just really love how it looks. So I'm going to put a quote on this in the black area next to it. The side of the stars makes me dream, which is a Van Gogh quote. I love Van Gogh. I love the stars. It just seemed to fit. And literally, I think all I'm writing around this is just bits of that quote. I don't even think I'm filling out the whole quote. I think I'm just writing the side of the stars over and over. Maybe other bits and pieces from other star-related quotes, because I know a lot of them. But yeah, literally, this journaling is not coherent. It's not doesn't serve a purpose, except I like the way it looks. So it's not like I'm actually, yeah, telling a story or anything with my journaling. It's more for the design look of it. So yes, very messy and very haphazard is the word I guess I'm looking for. But I do love how it turns out. So yeah, like I've said, I've been working on my messy journaling a lot. Sometimes I do it so you can read it. Other times I do it so you can barely see what it says. So, you know, I like varying degrees of that messy. There is a name for it, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it. When I remember, I'll make sure for next video that I have the actual name for it. Dina Wakley does it a lot, and so does Natalie May, but for the life of me, I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. So I filled in my quote, and now I'm just going to add, I was just aiming to add a few splatters around my quote, like when you get a big blob from an ink pen. Didn't quite work that way, so I decided to go with it and just throw white ink around the rest of the page. Oh well, it's an art journal. Nothing's wrong in art, is there? There's no wrong in art, as my art teacher used to say. So I just went with it, and that's it for my page. So I really hope you like this page. I sure enjoyed making it, and I really love how it turned out. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back real soon with a new video. Bye for now.